Especially my parents as well, they were so supportive of me. They provided me with so much love, so much support. They never gave up on me.
Younger brother did. You may remember him.
Still do.
He's a trouble guy.
He's lovely.
He's lovely.
Culture was such a big aspect of my life growing up. Everything was to do with culture, even the people we associated with, just making sure I didn't forget my roots.
I think at that time, I wanted to do whatever it takes for me to learn English. And it's a bit weird because whenever I go to Sri Lankan events, I don't know anybody. Know some people, but I don't have any same age friends.
Quality of
quality of content, that's so true.
I'm so glad you asked me that question because I love being a mum. It's the best job in the world, but it's also the hardest job as well. It's taught me so much about patience and taught me so much about myself as well, and to never give up because I have two little ones who always look up to me, who need me every day, and they need me to be the best person as well. I think my husband Marlon, he helped me so much because in the end we're a team. He helps me so much around the house. He helps with the kids. If I'm ever feeling really tired and I need a break, he's supporting me all the way through. Probably don't know this, but I actually had an arranged marriage, so I didn't know Marlon very well before I got married. Yes.
Wow. I definitely knew that I wasn't good enough for this. But in my mind again, I would never be good enough if I don't start this.
Exactly.
Welcome to Talk with the Courageous Heart. I'm glad you are here today. Let's take a moment to breathe, settle in, and begin today's conversation.
Kia ora whanau. I'm back with a brand new episode for Talk with the Courageous Heart. And as I promised you last time, I have another courageous heart. And I would like to do an introduction before I get this person to sit across me. I thought of this person because, I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I'm Sri Lankan. I've been in this country for 10 years. When we moved, I remember this person was a teacher at Sunday school in New Zealand, in Christchurch. I still have the memory of this person, she teaching my younger brother. And it wasn't an easy task. It took courage for her to do that, and she did it very well. And she also a very humble person, also a very knowledgeable person. So we will get to know her as we go through this journey. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dilunika Silva. Come on here, please, and take a seat. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
No, I do really appreciate you saying yes. I think we are both Sri Lankans, and you are the first Sri Lankan I thought of having in my podcast. That means something. You made an impact on my brother's life, and you made an impact my life too. Teaching in a different school, in a Sunday school, it's not easy, but you had the courage to do that, and I looked up to you. Now you're pretty busy with 2 kids and the family. You don't have much time to do that anymore. But when you had that time on your hand, you did that, and it makes, I still have nice memories about you. And thank you for doing that. And thank you for being here today and saying yes.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
No, it's my honor to have you. But thank you for saying that. Before we move forward, how this thing works is I ask my guests 5 questions, and after those 5 questions, I let my guests ask me a question. They don't have to, it's optional, and I try to do a good job for that, by giving answer for that question they ask. Anyway, before I move on to questions, I would like to ask you, I kind of know who you are, but for the people who've seen this might have no idea who you are. So if I ask you, who are you? Can you give me a brief answer?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, my name's Dilunika. I moved to New Zealand with my parents when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
So, about 30 years ago.
Yep.
So, you can probably work out my age now. But now I'm happily married. I've got two beautiful children. Ryan, my son, he is 7 years old.
Wow.
And my daughter, Rose, is
They're keeping you busy.
very busy. I work on top of that as well full time.
Oh my God.
Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then come home to kids. So,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
very busy
God,
lifestyle.
good. Thank you for saying who you are and what you do. I want to go to our first question. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think about your younger years, what helped you develop your quiet strength? Cultural values, family influence, or faith that shaped how you face life? Was it something that grew over time?
Honestly, all of the above, especially my parents as well. You know, they were so supportive of me. They provided me with so much love, so much support. They never gave up on me. They've always been there. They've always been my biggest supporters. And honestly, I don't know what I'd do without them. They've helped me grow into the person I am today. They've helped me stay humble. They've given me everything that I could ever ask for. And I could not be more grateful to my parents.
Wow.
Another aspect is faith. I'm a proud Catholic. Christ has always been in the forefront of my life. I'm teaching my children as well. It's such a beautiful thing, and I wouldn't be here without the grace of Christ. And just talking to Christ in prayer is so important to me and my family as well.
Because I got to know you from church. I remember the first day we moved here and we went to church and you were teaching Sunday school. It's a Sri Lankan lady who's doing the teaching. I was like, wow. I never attended because I was already 17, but my younger brother did. You may remember him.
I sure do.
He's a trouble guy.
No, he's lovely.
He's lovely. Sometimes when he sleeps. But he's good. But yeah, I do still have that memory. And I think the one thing I want to touch is you moved here when you were 2. I actually didn't know that. I thought you might have moved here, but probably you were older, like a teenager or something. How did, you still can speak pretty good, Sinhalese, because we are both from Sri Lanka. You still have pretty good Sinhalese, Sinhala. That's what we call, right? Sinhala?
Sinhala.
Yeah, Sinhala, yeah. How did it not go away?
So my parents made sure that we spoke Sri Lankan
Yeah,
Sinhalese at
yeah,
home.
yeah.
Culture was such a big aspect of my life growing up. Everything was to do with culture.
Yeah.
Even the people we associated with, just making sure I didn't forget my roots.
Yeah.
That was really important for my family.
Yeah.
It was about honouring parents, honouring elders, and just making sure that we didn't forget about our past.
I do really adore that and respect that, because moving to New Zealand when I was 17, I couldn't speak any English. At that time, I took a decision saying, okay, my first priority is to learn English and I want to think from English. So me being the younger version of myself, my first thing was, okay, I need to cut out all the Sri Lankans. Every time I meet Sri Lankans, we're going to speak Sinhala, and that's not going to help me. So I did that. I don't say I'm fluent in English, but now I do think from English and I can speak English. So I don't have any friends here, like Sri Lankan friends. We have good family Sri Lankan friends. I don't have any friends that same age as me. Looking back, I actually thought about it a few times. I asked myself, do I regret it? I think my answer is no. I think at that time, I wanted to do whatever it takes for me to learn English. And it's a bit weird because whenever I go to Sri Lankan events, I don't know anybody. I know some people, but I don't have any same age friends. I still don't know if I made the right decision there, but I think I did what I wanted to do. Do you think I did the right? Do you think I took the right decision? Or?
You know, I think it's a constant battle, especially when you're from a different country,
Yeah.
you're trying to integrate into a different culture.
Yeah.
I think it's about maintaining a balance. It's about getting to know friends, getting to know the Kiwi culture, but
Yeah.
still preserving your own culture.
Yeah.
It's something I'm trying to teach my children as
Yeah.
well. I think it's really easy to forget about the Sinhalese culture and just adapt this new culture just so you want to fit in. I think it's about,
Yeah.
I'm really proud that I can relate to both Sri Lankans and
Yeah,
Kiwis, and I think
yeah.
it's such a gift that you can
Yeah.
actually relate to so many people in so many ways. And I understand that there's a lot of peer pressure to fit into a certain
Yeah,
group
yeah,
or
yeah.
a certain way of talking or
Yeah.
the way of life.
Yeah.
But maintaining that balance and getting to know a range of people is such a beautiful thing and it shouldn't be taken for granted. I completely understand where you're coming from. I don't think it's a wrong decision, but if you can somehow maintain that balance, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think the only place that I speak is in my house, or like whenever we go in Christmas time, Easter time, that when we go to Sri Lankan friend's house, I speak Sinhala. And to my grandparents, to my auntie, I think that's the only time I speak Sinhala. I remember there was time that I tried to speak English with my mom as well. And we did that for quite some time, like probably a few months. It didn't really last. And that's true. You need to find that balance. I think that's most important.
And it's hard as well
Hard.
as you get older because we only go back to Sri Lanka every so often.
you do.
Sometimes you feel more connected to
Yeah.
the Kiwi culture,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't forget about your friends and family back home as well because they're equally as important. You
Dude.
want to connect with them once you go back.
That's true. And I remember we moved here 2015, and when we went back 2019 after we moved here, I think we went back after 3 or 4 years. Went back to Sri Lanka for vacation, and I remember speaking to my friends in Sri Lanka, and I was struggling to speak, like the big words weren't coming out, and my friends were like making fun of me. Bro, look at you, you're now big English speaker. It was really hard for the first 3-4 days in Sri Lanka. It was really hard. I think you just still warming up your mother tongue. So it was a unique experience that I had my first time. Do you find that too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely understand your struggle,
Yeah.
especially when you're from a different country. You feel like you don't really fit in, and you don't really fit in the Kiwi culture
Yeah,
as well. And you're kind
yeah.
of like merged in between.
Yeah.
I definitely get your position and where you're coming from because it's a struggle I go through as well.
Yeah.
Just when you go back to Sri Lanka, you're worried about your accent, whether you're grammatically correct.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you're worried about, and I guess when you're in New Zealand,
Yeah.
you're worried about not fitting in as well. So
Exactly.
sometimes you feel like you're two different people.
It is a battle, isn't it?
is, yeah.
Like, and it doesn't help. Like, I have a stutter, and it doesn't help that I have a stutter, and it comes out when I speak Sinhala. Like, it comes out the most when I speak Sinhala, and it doesn't really help me. So it is, yeah. Thank you for that conversation. But moving on to second question, where your family moved, like when your family moved to New Zealand, what helped you adjust to find your place here? Building a new routine, learning on family, or finding community? What helped you hold on to that?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So when we moved back in 1995, we didn't really have a lot of family members here or a lot of friends, but we made connections through the church. So St. Mary's, so
Yeah.
we've been to the same church all these years, and we found our little community through church as well.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, I went to St. Mary's school. I had really good friends at school. I made connections with teachers, and to us, we kind of formed our own community. There weren't a lot of Sri Lankans in New Zealand at the time.
Okay.
There's probably a handful.
Yeah, because even when we moved to 2015, there was not a big community.
Compared to now, 'cause
Yeah.
there's hundreds and hundreds
Oh, yes,
of Sri
so
Lankans
many
here.
people.
Yeah, back then things were so different.
Yeah.
And it's about maybe not having 10, 20, 30 friends, even just a handful.
Yeah, just
is
handful.
enough.
Yeah. I think sometimes you don't need many friends. You just
No.
need like handful, like
Exactly, quality of
quality.
content.
Yeah, quality of content. That's so true. Were you actively looking for Sri Lankan friends back then?
Back then, I was only 2 years
Yeah,
old.
2 years old, yeah.
So through kindergarten, not really. Obviously, I had a few close friends, even with my parents. I'm not sure if they were actively looking, but
Yeah.
I think they were just open to making friends with anyone. We found friends and a community through church, and that was the main place we looked to for guidance, for support. And it's just the best place we could have gone to.
One thing I noticed from my parents, they grew up in Sri Lanka for probably 40 years. And one thing I noticed between my parents and me, my brother, they find comfortable, like they're comfortable with talking to Sri Lankan people. Like they feel comfortable talking with their mother tongue. And whenever they meet their Sri Lankan friends, they're comfortable there. Which I don't have that need, because wherever I go, I feel comfortable. If I have I have certain 2 or 3 close friends, they're not Sri Lankans, but I feel comfortable there. But when it's come to my parents, because they grew up in Sri Lanka for 40, 50 years, they find comfort in that language, in people who speak that same language.
Yes.
I think it is a generation thing. They grew up there for a long time.
Exactly. Probably a bit different for us as well because we're so used to being around Kiwis. And yes, we do have Sri Lankan friends as well,
That's
but
right.
predominantly Kiwis as
Yeah.
well. But again, like I was saying, it's about finding that difference and just what works well for you. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer whether you want to associate with Sri Lankans or Kiwis or both.
Depends on the person.
Exactly. And your personality is.
I think like my dad and my mom being Sri Lankan, like growing up there, it's a huge part of them. So it's really hard to give up who you really are. And me growing up here, it didn't really hit me that hard. But yeah, I think it depends on who you are, your personality.
Right.
Moving on to third question. You always carried a humble and giving spirit. What does humility means to you? Serving others, staying grounded, remembering your roots, choosing kindness. How do you choose to keep doing that over and over every day?
So for me, it's about giving back to the community. Like you mentioned before, I used to be a Sunday school teacher.
Yes.
But now I'm on the board of trustees at St Mary's School, and
Oh, wow.
I am so just recently appointed. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Congrats.
a way. Thank you. That's a way of giving back as
Yeah.
well. It's all about being kind. I think that's really important in
Yeah.
a world full of hatred. You shouldn't judge someone by the way they look or judge a book by its cover. It's about being open and honest
Yeah.
and just accepting people for who they are. I think that's really important.
Did you, as I mentioned this question, I always thought you are a humble human being. And I think at the end of the day, that's what I remember you by, humble human being. Did it come natural to you or did you struggle with that?
I wouldn't say I struggled with that. I
Yeah.
think it definitely came from my parents. I think my parents are very selfless, very humble people. And I think they've definitely installed that quality in me as well, and my sister.
Yeah.
It's important to be humble. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's something that I guess I've always been born with. It's something that I've kind of developed over
Yeah.
the years as well.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think it's your personality that you are very, very humble. I haven't met your mom a lot, but I think I had few conversations with your dad, and he's one of the nicest human being ever.
Yeah.
And he always encouraged me whenever we had a conversation. He always encouraged me to do my best. So thank you for that answer. Before I move to fourth question, I would like to give shout out to the owners of this beautiful place, Paradise Street Cafe and Dine. If you're ever in Christchurch or in city, just give these guys a try. It's just right next to the brand new stadium in Christchurch. So, moving on to the fourth question about motherhood. You are a proud mom. What has motherhood taught you about your strength and patience, balancing family life, learning every day, finding beauty in small moments? What does that mean to you?
You know, I'm so glad you asked me that question because I love being a mum. It's the best job in the world, but it's also the hardest job as well. It's taught me so much about patience and taught me so much about myself as well, and to never give up, because I have two little ones who always look up to me, who need me every day, and they need me to be the best person as well. I'm a working mum. It's really tough, working all day and then coming home and then helping the kids with homework, with the bedtime routine. But as soon as we get into our routine, it's not as bad. It is the best job in the world, very rewarding, and I'm just so grateful to be a mum of two little ones.
What is the one thing you struggled with at the beginning of motherhood?
So I went to work after 6 months giving birth.
Oh, wow.
So to me, it was balancing life and work. Until I got into that routine, it was really tough. So for me, definitely that between
balance.
work and...
And how did you find that?
How did I find it? I think my husband, Marlon, he helped me so much because in the end, we're a team. You know, he helps me so much around the house. He helps with the kids. You know, if I'm ever feeling really tired and I need a break, he's supporting me all the way through.
And I'm guessing your family, like your mom and dad was there too? Like
Absolutely.
Babysit.
Yes, free babysitting is great. They love their grandkids. They've been big supporters. They've been helping me all this time from birth until now. I am so grateful for that support, and my sister as well. She's been helping with the kids. It's just great to have that family support. It makes a big difference.
And also I just want to mention that your dad is an amazing chef, right? I remember a few times I've been to your house for Christmas or something. He makes the amazing food.
He
Just
does.
just want to give him a shout out. Thank you for sharing that. I do really appreciate that. So I think we're going to the last question. You and your husband, you mentioned Marlon earlier. You and your husband have built a beautiful life together. What values guided you both through that journey? Teamwork, faith, planning for the future, or staying grateful in every season? Was it an easy journey to build together?
So you probably don't know this, but I actually had an arranged marriage, so I didn't know Marlon very well before I
Wow.
got married. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because obviously I grew up in New Zealand,
Yeah.
he was in Sri Lanka.
Can I ask you, how did you embrace that?
It was quite challenging at the start. We talked for a few months on Skype at the time,
Okay.
and then we just met up and decided to get married. Obviously, I knew Marlon was the one. Very soon after talking to him,
Yeah,
I believe
yeah.
it was around the second day, that I thought, no, he's definitely the guy for me. Marlon is the most amazing husband, he's
Yeah.
the most amazing dad. He is so easy to talk to, and it may have been challenging at the start,
Yeah.
but the more I learned about him,
Yeah.
the better it became.
Can I interrupt you? So, how old were you when you get to know him?
I believe I was in my early 20s, around 22, 23.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very personal question. You can answer it or not, it's up to you.
Sure.
Did you not have any boyfriends at that time?
No, I couldn't find anyone in New Zealand. For me, I think my parents
Yeah.
really wanted me to maintain our culture,
Yeah,
and that's something we
yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
previously
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. I wanted to honour that.
Okay.
So,
I-
yeah, and
I
that's why
understand
I
that.
said, yes, let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Marlon came along, and he was the perfect choice.
Because it's very interesting because now I'm single now. My mom trying to push me into that direction, but for some reason, my heart says no. With this podcast, I'm really busy and I can't focus on someone else right now.
Right.
And also, I have the hope that I could find someone, someone will come. So it's really that's why I ask you how you embraced it, because I feel like it's something really hard to embrace, but you have done quite an amazing job. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that with
No,
me.
I think it's about being open as well
yeah.
to opportunities.
Yeah.
I think when a lot of people hear the word arranged marriage, they kind of get a negative view on it. It has a very high success rate.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
married for almost 9 years.
And it's going
it definitely
amazing.
works. Yes, it's
Yes.
going really well.
I think one thing I noticed was you bought your second house. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And
Yes.
how's that journey been?
Oh, it's been amazing. Honestly, I could not be more proud
Yeah.
of the life that we've built together. And I think it really helps when you have clear goals, clear pathways, and you know what you want to achieve
Yeah.
in 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah.
And just being aligned with those dreams and goals as well, that really helps.
What is one thing that you want to achieve probably in the next 10 years?
I'd say I just want to be the best wife and the best mum that I
Mum.
could ever be. Those are my two goals right now.
Very simple and very meaningful.
Absolutely. I have career goals as well,
Yeah.
but the main thing is about being the best wife and mum.
Thank you for sharing that. I just want to ask you more about your partnership with your husband. How, with over time, you knew that he was the one. Was that right?
I would say 2 days.
2 days.
2 days, yeah, of talking to him because
Oh, okay.
obviously we're in different countries.
Yeah, yeah.
So I believe it was around the second, third day
Yeah.
I knew he was the one, and I think, yeah, he thought I was a good person as well. So yeah, we just made it work.
And I think it's at the end of the day, I think it's who you want to make it work with.
Exactly.
And so far, your faith, teamwork, and planning for the future being great. Is that right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. I think it's really important to plan as well. We didn't actually talk for too long. It must have been a couple of weeks before
Yeah.
we kind of took things to the next level. But planning is really important, and obviously having Christ along there with you,
Yeah.
that's a really important aspect of our lives,
Yeah.
something that we're teaching our children,
Yeah.
having faith in God because He will show you the way.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for saying yes again, and thank you for coming here. And I really saw a different side of you today, because you're always quiet, I feel like.
I am a relatively quiet person.
Yeah,
yes,
and I was
yeah.
like, now you just talk non-stoply so fast. I was like, oh my gosh, she's really, yeah, I really saw a different side of you, and it's a
side
good
as
thing.
well. I think most people consider me as an introvert.
Yeah, are
you know.
you?
I think at the beginning, yes,
Okay.
but once I get to know someone,
Yeah, I think that's my thing too, because I consider myself as an introvert.
yeah.
But once I get comfortable, and I think it's more to do with comfortable. Like once I get comfortable with somebody, I just can't stop talking. And if I feel safe and comfortable with someone, I just crack jokes and make fun of them. I think it's one of my weaknesses, act in front of someone that I feel safe and comfortable with.
Absolutely.
So sometimes my coworkers like keep cracking jokes and I feel so sorry for them because I feel comfortable with them. I feel safe with them. So sometimes I feel very bad for them because they're the butt of the joke. And
I'm sure they love having you around.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. But before I go, I give my guests to ask me a question if you do have any. But it's optional. You don't have to ask me a question. But if you do have a question, do you have a question?
I do have one question for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
So what motivated you to start this podcast?
Well, it's a funny question. I mean, it's an interesting question, but it's a funny, it's a bit, how do I say it? It's a bit random. So I was worshiping, I was in this community called SFC, Single for Christ, and I was worshiping God. And I just had random thought while worshiping, okay, I can start a podcast probably about courage. Since that day, I remember right after worship, I talked to one of my friends about this idea, and I was like, bro, I would love to have you, you know? And I was able to put everything together within 2 weeks' time.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, thank you so much, because like it was just not me. Like there are people behind this. For the logo, I asked my friend, his name is Nick. I asked Nick, bro, can you make me a logo within 1 week? He was like, oh, for us, 1 week is too tight. But he said he did it. He did it. And for the setup, one of my other friends called Angel made the setup. And for lighting, there's another guy called Keanu. And it's been great. So this is how I start the idea of thing. And I think I didn't even tell my mom or dad.
Oh, wow.
Because I feel like they don't understand where I'm coming from. Like I feel like when I tell something to them, they automatically think of the money side of it, not really the purpose of it. So I remember when I filmed first day, I didn't tell them, and the guests that I had first day, they post a story. My mom follows them on Instagram, Facebook. They're friends. My mom friends with them. And my mom saw my friend's story, and my mom...
Probably the biggest shock.
Yeah, and my mom left me a message saying, oh, thank you for the biggest lie you told me. I was like, oh my God. But that's how I started. I definitely knew that I wasn't good enough for this. But in my mind again, I would never be good enough if I don't start this.
Exactly.
So I did kind of went all in. I started this. When I sit down here, I feel comfortable. I don't feel that I'm forcing myself to do this. I feel comfortable and I'm having fun with whoever I have in front of me. Did you ask me what was the...
Like the motivation.
The motivation, I think the motivation was to do something different in the community. Because many people, when you start podcasts, many people just talk to themselves, like talk to you and your friend or interview celebrities. I just realized we don't have to go that far. We have people in our own community that have made an impact on many lives. And their story deserves to be heard.
Exactly.
And I think that's my main intention, to bring out that voice and give that voice a place.
Right.
So I think that's my motivation. And also for me, I want to improve, like to have good public speaking skills and to be able to host something like this. I used to be insecure about doing public speaking, and I one day I want to say, oh look, I came to New Zealand without knowing how to speak English, but now I'm doing this. So to say that one day it would be great, I would be very proud. So I think that's a motivation.
Yeah.
There are personal growth and
Right.
also the side of making a difference in the community. So I hope that I
that's a
answered.
really good answer.
Okay, the last question that I ask every one of my guests: what's one sentence you would say to someone who feels like giving up right now?
The one thing I would say is, and it's a verse in the Bible, so it's Psalm 37 verse 4, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And that is a verse that has always stuck with me, because obviously believing in Christ, praying to him often, he has given me so much more than I could ever want, and that's something I will forever be grateful of. Don't ever give up. You have so much support that you may or may not know, and obviously God is always with you.
And you always have hope.
You always have hope.
Can I ask you again to slowly repeat that Bible verse?
Sure. Delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Such a beautiful verse.
Yeah, and it makes sense though. It makes sense. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
I think we had a conversation after a long time.
It's been a while. It has.
And I think I look forward. I was looking forward to it because you being the person who you are is such a wonderful experience for me to interview you. You always been that person who people look up to, and I really enjoyed that. I'm not even making that up. I did really enjoy it, and I did really look forward to it. I think it was worth it. Thank you so much.
Likewise. No, thank you for having me. It's been great, and this place is amazing, and I think you've done an amazing job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Considering it's only been a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Just trying to take baby steps and trying to achieve something, but just trying to take baby steps. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for being kind enough to say yes. And I'm not only joking. You just said yes right away. And thank you so much.
Yeah,
I would never forget that. And that means a lot to me. I would like to thank you for the people who tuned in today. I'm gonna leave you today with a hope and promise I would be back with another courageous heart next time. Until then, be safe, be courageous, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great. It was great.
Hopefully, yes. I was a bit nervous because I've never done this before. But
This podcast is still growing, so every follow and share truly means a lot. Thank you for listening to Talk with a Courageous Heart.